everybody, just wanted to go live and do a live reading of the first chapter of Incomplete. So my lights are glaring really bright in here. Super fun. Totally pasty. That's okay. That's super fun, right? Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait around just a couple minutes, let a few more people log in, I don't even know. Just tune in, click yes, view, I don't even know what it is. But we'll do that for a few minutes. If you have any questions, I would love to answer them, talk about any of the Insurrection books. If you have any questions about anything, I'd love to chat about it. And I put up a nice backwards copy of the book cover right here. But is it that, I don't know, it might look backwards, so that's good. Instead of being flipped, because usually these things flip, but it's not flipped. So that's fun. You can try to plan, but whatever, that's okay. Maybe I could put my phone, and let's see if I can put it right on my phone. I don't have a poster. I need to get a poster, right? Raise your hand, like, if you, here we go, we have a magnet. Woo! I need to hook it. Will it stick? No. Let's see if I can put it. No. It's very tiny. It's very tiny. Here it is. Yay! But isn't that cover so fun, guys? Here we go. Ah! This is a magnet. And this one, I made this because I did a little vendor event for having a little, like, way to get in touch with people so they can learn all about Insurrection and Incomplete and the fun that Saylor gets to have. Isn't that fun? Little magnet. He's so happy. Let's see. I have it maybe on my phone here. Let's see. Do I? That's the trick that we have to figure out. I know. Now there's just one person. That's okay. We will have fun, you and I. Let me see if I can get the cover on my phone here real quick. I keep forgetting if I put it in Kindle or where it is. But any questions, feel free at any time. Just comment with a question, like, love, anything, share. Feel free to share. And it'll be a lot of fun. This chapter 1 is called Chatter. And it's, oh, here we go. Maybe I have a picture of it. I know, this is so exciting to watch. I'm sorry. The reading will be much more exciting if you will hang in with me for just a minute while this loads. Yay for technology, right? This should, if you want to look at it backwards, it's quite beautiful right there. Don't you love the rainbow? I love the rainbow. Catch the rainbow. Is that Skittles? Oh, here we go. See, there's just small. Could I put it? Gosh, the lights are bright in here. Oh, guys. Oh, well. We tried. Okay, how about we get to reading chapter 1. I'm going to read it on my iPad right here. And I'll try to keep it next to the camera. Incomplete. And remember, you can always grab any of my books at katiecarter.com. Insurrection is book 1, Incomplete is book 2, and the third book will be coming out soon. I will have a cover reveal and a title reveal coming up pretty soon. But for now, check out Incomplete, grab your copy, read it! I really like Incomplete. I think it is so much fun. Saylor gets to do some amazing things in this book, and you are going to want to follow along and do those things with her. Trust me. Trust me. So, shall we get to reading Incomplete? Yeah! I'll turn myself on. Okay, somehow I've moved all the way to page 349. Here we go. Okay, chapter 1. Incomplete by Katie Carter. Check out katiecarter.com. Remember, Incomplete is only $4.99. Available at all retailers for ebooks. Grab one, grab them for a friend. Super fun. Okay, let's get to reading chapter 1, Chatter. Ducking down behind the mass of fallen trees, I gasped for air. I crouched, listening for the familiar pop and click, but the sounds had drifted away. I congratulated myself with a brief, hushed hoorah, and rested my back against the crumbly bark of the large, mossy log. Each man scattered to his post, the head set silent. Fresh air inundated my lungs as my chest rose and fell. Drips of sweat rolled down my temples, joining up under my chin. I wiped away the river with my sleeve and rolled onto my side to peek over the log through the brush. A body spun over the barricade, coming to a stop to my left, stirring up the dust and fallen branches. Tucker popped up to a sitting position beside me and turned his head to face me with a quick intake of air, looking over his shoulder. That was amazing. Still trying to catch my breath, I bobbed my head up and down, the thick helmet rocking along with the movement. I realized just how cattywampus it had grown during the attack and unhooked the strap under my chin. Cool dew ruffled through my hair, as relieving as a pack of ice. The helmet came to rest in my lap, and I pulled the headset out of my ear for a moment. I'm kind of surprised it worked, but I sure am glad it did, I said. Never slaughtered so many computers in one fell swoop before. A gleaming grin slid across Tucker's face, his eyes twinkling. Felt good, didn't it? Those dimples spread in his cheeks, and my heart whirled a little jig in my chest. The chaos of the past few minutes dimmed in comparison to the way my heart began to rattle and tumble about against my ribs. In a quick motion, Tucker reached for my cheek, cupping my face in his hands. We leaned closer, for a few seconds eternal and limitless, and our lips met in a feverish frenzy of excitement. Pulses raced. My insides did a little hopscotch game. His lips felt warm and soft and perfect. I slid my hand up to the back of his neck and leaned toward him, feeling the razor-sharp line of hair, the warmth of his nearness paralyzing. All noises dimmed, and my inner ears popped, a whining buzz echoing behind my eyes. My blood bubbled, the microcomputers within scurrying for the signal to connect to the approaching enemy's network. Bent toward their purpose, the ants buried deep in my gut sought their prey. Surging backward away from the heat and the fire, I turned to the real battle. Scrambling to my feet, I whipped the glowing X-11 up to my shoulder. Tucker grunted, following suit. My helmet toppled to the ground, the headset thumping against the jacket patting my shoulder. Our silver weapons gleamed under the white light of the moon beaming down through the branches of the towering trees, the green and red neon lights on the handles blipping here and there. A tardy proximity band alert buzzed on my wrist, while two Oxnells zeroed in on our location. They sliced the black, misty night, following in a translucent dotted orange line, glimmering with a range of trajectories, headed first for Tucker's frame. Apparently, he was hotter than me. A tickling chuckle rose in my throat because the Oxnells and I agreed on that one thing. On your left, I spat out the words, focusing my thoughts. Strategize. If only I could convey what I saw and heard that the others did not. 2 bogeys on your 9. I'll take the right. Cripes, Tucker mumbled, eyes peering into the forest beyond. I crept backwards until I stood right behind him, seeing the orange trajectory paths shifting once more. Move fast. Hit hard. Zipping into view, those fiery creatures wove through the trees like snakes in a twister. Jumping out from behind him at the last second, his X-11 whipped by my head as I ducked down and tumbled to the right. Hopping to my feet, I slammed my weapon against the fiery creature and knocked it back a good 100 yards. Spiraling out of control at first, but then righting itself, the T-3 spun in a circle, hovering, taking in the scene. The orange dots broadcast 3 ideal trajectories to strike at my core, so to throw off its calculations I began to charge toward the blazing orb. Ensuring it wouldn't lose its prey, all optimal paths reconfigured, so it began to wind up and spin toward me, much slower than normal. This gave me some room to prep for a good knock against the ball. Making contact was simple, but the T-3 wouldn't be taunted. It ascended in order to strike from the high ground. On your 3! A voice called from my right. Logan crashed through the underbrush of the forest as the T-3 whirled down. I hit at a slight upward angle, popping the orb up, out of control. As it soared back, Logan clobbered it with a solid slam. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, he yelled. Cheeky, the creature disappearing into tiny shards of black dust. That's the name of our newest tactic. I like it. Classy, I muttered. I veto if I get a vote. You do not, he said in his normal smug manner. I think I should, I argued back, jutting my chin out. Just because you spent a night in the woods does not qualify you to have input. I vote we go or get a snack, Tucker interpreted. He interrupted. He stood between the two of us, casting the X11 over his shoulders, both wrists tossed over the opposite ends in a casual manner. He swept his glance from Logan to me and back again. That accent was still so delightful. The way his lips moved around the language sent chills nibbling at the corners of mine. I vote yes to coffee. I sheathed the X11 on my back, fatigue from the last few hours tapping on my shoulder and absorbing into the green camouflage. Logan glared from me to Tucker and back to me, holding his silence in front of him like a boxing glove. I get final vote. We use it. He smiled, and then threw his own X11 onto his back, striding off into the dark woods. After all, I just saved your hide. Oh, and keep your headset on, battle buddy. This isn't hide and seek. I don't like the squealing. It gives me a headache. You don't understand. If you had to listen to the constant ringing for hours at a time, you'd destroy your headset. I just take mine out. Deal with it. Your whining gives me a headache, but you don't see me throwing you out. Logan had been particularly pompous since the meeting with the commander, letting me know I was the rookie and he my superior. I was okay with that, but his antics grew tiresome, especially around 0300. Did not save me, I argued, fumbling with the cord for a moment before pushing the nimble plastic around my ear. Give him a few to cool off, Tucker said under his breath, restlessness stirring in his tone. I just shook my head, watching the silhouette fade into the night. But I think I do need that coffee, even though it is disgusting. Caffeine makes the world go round, love, Tucker smiled, and then caught himself saying what he said. Struth, hold up. He waved one hand around. What is that word? I muttered, brushing away the red creeping up into my cheeks. Don't worry. I didn't need to hear him say he didn't mean it, and I didn't need to hear him not say it either. Sometimes the darkness can be a helpful friend. No, it's... Slow down, Tucker said, toppling tall weeds and brush in order to catch up to my stride. Let me say, I know I should have watched my words. There's too many reasons to do so. First of them being that I cannot be distracted out here. I'm not Australian, I know, but it's okay. Just imagine it with me. Okay. Tucker grabbed my elbow and held firm, stopping the both of us in our tracks. Neither can you. This isn't a game, he added, as serious as I've ever seen him. That back there, Tucker jerked his thumb over his shoulder. He blinked a few times, shaking his head. It won't happen again, I said, making my words in my head agree with the facts. The distraction, while fun, was not an option. Saylor, Tucker sighed. Sometimes the words that need to be said should not be said, and this was one of those times. Squaring up to face him, I rested my gloved palm against his cheek. With a small shake of my head, I blinked back in motion and inquisition. This is war, I said. Facts are facts. Dropping my hand and balling it into a fist, I turned to follow after my battle buddy. He needed me to tag along in his sarcastic shadow for a little while longer. Pulling on my gloves a little tighter, I readjusted the earpiece into my head and listened to the chatter. Sheets of rain hurled insults and chunks of misery upon the beaches. The island hunkered down to endure the night, battered by screaming winds, grieving sands, and the monsters who stir up the deep songs of the sea. We'd been forced underground, taking brief shifts to go on rounds. So far, the only benefit from the hurricane was that even the Oxnells didn't want to face her. Tarrying for one night only, both sides of the war breathed a sigh of relief, readying for a new onslaught the minute the waves calmed. Next! Oh, come on! I breathed out, resting the thick end of my X11 on the ground and letting it support my weight for a moment. The cavernous ceiling above echoed our voices. We'd settled in a large indoor training room located on level 3. Logan had us haul several of the mock pitching machines to the room so we could practice. Oh, hold on. Let me rephrase, so that I could practice. Logan had turned up the machines, so they chucked the mocks at ridiculous speeds. I missed at least every other one or popped them right up into the air above my head. They flew fast, high, low, left and right, wobbling and arcing, ripping through the air toward me. The guy stood in a half circle about 15 feet behind me in bemused interest, watching this crazy version of the X Games. Occasionally, they'd take turns fetching the mocks from the far reaches of the corridor. Some kind of black tile work covered the majority of the walls. the callous cement underneath displaying years of negligence. A small team of workers continued their labor against the wall to the far right. Logan whooped out a belligerent laugh, his arms crossed at his chest. "We have to figure out what you can do. We've spent the last hour seeing how bad I am at this. Haven't you had enough yet?" "I want to know if she's going to turn on us," Charge muttered. O'Leary turned his head from Charge to Logan and crossed his arms as well. "This isn't the same as the T3 or the T2. I wiped away a bead of sweat on my cheek with my shoulder, hearing a machine to my left whiff a ball toward me. The band buzzed, and I shot into action, shifting my weight onto my left toes, leaning back toward my left leg, and bringing that same elbow up parallel with the shoulder. Gripping the neck of the X-11, I pulled back and then let her rip, firing off a hit, arms following through, watching the Mach sail away toward a far wall. Those little blinking lights on the Mach dimmed one by one. Overhead lights flickered, the bright white glaring down at our little circle. "Nice shot," O'Leary encouraged. "How's it different?" Tucker asked. "How is it not different?" I cackled, scorning the exercise. "I'd need a room and props to show you what I see when they set their sights. It's not just a sound or picture or even just a flying ball. It's—" Another machine to my right popped in the distance, releasing a Mach. Annoyed with the interruption, but also grateful for the distraction, I settled into a ready stance again. The last 24 hours had been a dizzying whirl of information overload, as well as a new wave of inquisition and curiosity from the squad. How did Saylor have miniature computers swimming through her blood? Why did that make her stronger? Why did her headset squeal her ears off? What could she do with her interactions with the Oxynals? Logan and the commander had decided we should see what I was capable of and how we could use those skills to improve our defenses, as well as create new offensive measures. The latest Mach flew away with another quick hit, a low, fast, rolling spin onto the hard floor. "Martin, will you shut down the machines?" Logan called to the soldier who'd walked over to recover stray Machs and block any potential hits by the laboring scientists in the corner. "Mac, what's your energy level?" "I'm fine," I lied with defiant energy. Every muscle in my arms ached with a thudding strain of numbed heat. Oxygen rippled through my throat, ribs shuddering in relief and duress. My back, sides, and stomach ached, each area yanking the other and screaming in response. Pride hunkered behind me, her shoulders caving in. The towering soldiers before me watched, critical, analyzing every movement. And I felt so very inept. 1 to 10, Logan asked. "I'm fine," I snapped, dragging the X-11 up to my back and placing it in its tether. "For science's sake, Mac, how tired are you?" Logan asked again, growing impatient. "Oh, well, which one is super tired?" 1. 3. "Great. Where's your notebook?" I called, noting he continued to stand there, arms crossed, observing, and definitely not writing anything down for science's sake. "What time is it?" I asked, stepping over to a basket of green plastic water bottles. Hitting, ducking, hiding, and daydreaming had begun to seep into my uniform, wilting the fabric in the early morning hours. My inner clock read, "Time to be off duty and in a warm bed." 05:30, Logan answered. "Been quiet tonight," O'Leary offered. "It has," Charge replied, eyeing me. "I'm not a robot. I have no ability to contact or communicate with the Oxynals," I defended, eyeing Charge back. "You don't need to worry about that," I added, languishing in a sluggish drawl just like the older ladies from back home. "I'm just a sweet little southern spitfire from Georgia." I pretended to print my helmet with my right hand. "Chisholm, Ponro, how's it looking out there?" Logan asked into the comms. "It's like a watery wasteland," one voice answered amidst a staticky background. We'd been taking turns watching the front gate from inside the elevator and visiting with the communications office. "All right, Thompson, Charge, O'Leary, you head out for the next 30 or so," Logan instructed. "Make sure it stays quiet before shift change." The three nodded and turned away, heading toward the hallway. "So what are we going to do?" I asked Logan. Doubtful I wanted to know the answer. "Going to find out how to get you to a 1, he answered, gleeful, on that tired scale. "Well, I changed my answer. I'm a 1. "Saylor." Logan stepped closer, tilting his chin down so that he stood right above me. The skin above his nose wrinkled, his eyes sparkling with fascination in the effervescent lights illuminating the rec center. You can last longer, move faster, and react quicker. We have to see what you can do. See how the mites help. I shook my head. I'm not a science experiment. I'm a normal person just like you. But you aren't. They're in your blood. They are a part of you. I don't like that you call them mites. Sounds like bugs or something. They're kind of like bugs. Still don't like it. What if we call them ants? Artificially intelligent nanotechnology. Logan snapped as if he'd just thought of it. I puckered my lips at the lemony idea. What do you want me to do next? Wanting to stomp my foot and cross my arms, I decided to buck up instead, chugging another gulp of water from the bottle. Sprints, he said, thinking out loud, choosing from the variety of torturous aerobic activities he knew how to do. Ugh! They show your true colors. Can't hide from sprints, Logan argued. I prefer not to do sprints in my full gear. It adds like 50 pounds. And my X11 thumps my helmet. I demonstrated the movement. And also I think you should have to do them too. You will be the control. Can't have a science experiment without a control. Weakling human versus awesomeness. I added, a devious glint to my eye, gesturing to my frame. A huffing sound came from the limitless Logan, who shifted his feet in a semicircle, his lips pouting in deep thought. Why, thank you for calling me awesome, Logan answered. It's about time you recognized that. He twisted back to me. I have a better idea. You're right about the control. Smart. So, we will do this, although it is pointless to a certain extent because I've been doing this for years and you haven't. However, he took a step back and placed his fists on his hips. We do the obstacle course, sprinting to deck, back to the tower, and then end at deck. First one back gets all the points. Are you serious? I asked, arms dropping to my sides. As a simile. I reared my head back, a little confused and a little stuck in the moment. He wanted to do the obstacle course, right now, in the howling wind and gusting water? I don't understand your linguistic answer, I said, shaking my head. And you really want to go race in the rain? Logan's face twitched, that smirk traipsing about on his lips, tossing his shoulders in a shrug. Just another night on duty, he sniffed. You serious? Martin called out from his spot. We'll come clean up everything else if you guys get the machines back to the shed, Logan called out to the others. They shuffled around, some chuckling, barely interested in anything other than shift ending soon. A sigh bigger than his pride slipped from my mouth. All the points, huh? I asked as I absorbed his instructions. What about donuts or something? Loser serves the winner breakfast? Hold on, Lieutenant. Lieutenant, you're sweetening the pot way too fast there. Just get ready. Logan rolled his eyes, turning toward the door. No gear, I bargained, following him. Logan sighed. You can leave it in the elevator, I guess. I'll keep mine on. His shoulders carried the equipment well. Years of bonding with the fabric had forged knowing secrets into the brawn. As if he read my thoughts, he turned back to the door and grabbed the handle. We're getting new uniforms soon anyway, he added, for a second forgetting to be competitive. Oh yeah? They're easier to move around in. Fantastic, I replied. The bright white hallway glared around us, but Logan paid it no attention, charging toward the staircase exit, slamming the door open, and backing into it to let me pass. Before I knew it, we were in the darkened upper room of the front deck, windows assaulted with a barrage of water, the chamber echoing in the drumbeat. Seriously? I asked him, the armor vest constricting against my chest, X11 clunking the back of my helmet. What are you doing? Tucker asked from his spot by the window, turning at our sudden entrance. He's lost his mind and is dragging me with him, I hollered above the din. Logan shoved the door aside. It swung out, blowing wide open, and Logan lunged out into the brawl. Where are you going? Tucker ran to the door and grabbed my arm before I had a chance to enter the downpour. Either to win a bet or to my grave. Saylor, I'm ECB. I defeat. I fear nothing, I yelled, mocking the idea. Threatened by loss, challenged by impossibility, and resolute to the end, I punched my fist into the air. A bawdy smile throttled my nerves. I smacked my helmet twice, throwing both hands up in the air. I live for adventure! Then I flew out the door, crouching in the grass next to my brother. Slippery green blades swung beneath us in the pounding rain, which seemed to fall in slow motion. Soaked. He wanted the win. I denied restraint. We dwelt immortal. Ready? Logan asked, beads of water sliding across his face, dripping down his chin. Now or never, I yelled, the words disappearing against the wind. I'm not going to tell you who won. But Logan wanted French toast for breakfast. I served it with my soaking socks on top. And that's the end of chapter 1. Woo! Hope you liked that. Sorry if my reading's like crazy, but hey, you know, words and things. So, okay, I'm going to look at your comments here. So fun. Yes to coffee. Always yes to coffee. Yes for coffee. And I hope that you enjoyed chapter 1. Oh, and I hope not too many secrets were spilled there. That's how it is with the trilogy. I hope you will grab your own copy of Incomplete, available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, Smashwords. What else am I forgetting? Go to katiecarter.com. I've got all the buy links right there. $4.99. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you are enjoying, let's see, there we go, there's a heart. I hope you're enjoying the instructions series. Saylor is such a fun character. She was so fun to write, and she's just is always with me. I always think, what would Saylor do? And I hope that you will find a great friend in Saylor, someone to root for, someone to go, oh my, what are you doing? When she does the things that she does in Incomplete Volume 2. Yes, you need it. Buy now, please, and thank you. katiecarter.com. Share it with your friends. Tell everybody if you read it. Please review it. I'd love to hear back from you. If you have any questions, always let me know. And I don't know, katiecarter.com. Thank you again for joining me, my friends and readers. You are fantastic. Y'all have a great night. Thank you. And sparkle on.